Bitcoin is the best form of money mankind has ever created and is quickly becoming the premier asset of the world.
Future's now, old man.
My name's Darren. I'm going to do my best sales pitch, my quickest sales pitch for Bitcoin.
Hey, listen, I quit.
Don't expect leaving here buying Bitcoin today. I mean, unless you're easily persuaded, or I'm just that persuading. Some of this will go right over your head, or later down the road, you'll be like, shit, I wish I had Bitcoin for this reason. Or, oh, damn, that kind of makes sense. And all the pieces will fit together. So let me start by asking you, where's your money? Is it in a bank? Do you have it in a savings account? Are you doing the right thing? Do you own that money? No. The bank owns that money. You own IOUs.
That's as good as money, sir. Those are IOUs. Go ahead and add it up. Every cent's accounted for.
Banks legally only have to hold 3% of your savings account and 0% of your checking account at any given time. Yes, you don't own the money, and sometimes the bank doesn't even own the money. But you might say, oh, I know that. I got cash under my mattress. And for that, I say, yes, cash is self-sovereign. You hold it in your hands, and nobody can tell you where you can or can't transact it. However, have you noticed this year that nowhere is starting to accept cash because, it might have coronavirus on it? Well, they're playing you pretty good. For thousands of years, gold has been the standard for freedom, self-sovereignty, and value storage. It was respected by everyone across the globe. In 1933, government started to make it illegal for you to own gold. Banks took that gold and started to issue receipts for that gold that you owned, and this was called cash. The world was now forced to use notes. And in 1971, the United States decided to go off that gold standard, and the rest of the world followed. More recently, banks have moved to a digital database in this internet world, where they are literally printing money with a push of a button on the computer. They don't even need a piece of paper anymore because they are slowly moving to a digital world, maybe partially because of this pandemic. The monetary power and control is in the government and banking's hands. They can literally, with a press of a button, give all the money they want to their friends, families, other governments around the world. 20 to 40% of all dollars were created in the past year. So that is theft by inflation. Your purchasing power just went down that much. Theft is also by seizure of the banks. They can close your accounts whenever they want. Some countries even take money out of your accounts whenever they want. Your privacy is also at risk in this digital age. You ever think of those Instagram or Facebook ads that you always get and you're like, shit, how do they know exactly what I want to buy? Or how do they know I bought that before? Well, it's because of their purchasing history with their vendors. They know exactly what you've bought. Imagine what the banks have. Every digital transaction you have has been tracked. I'm sure they have an exact, unique profile of you and can use that to manipulate you if they like. So our security is gone, our freedoms are gone, and our privacy is gone when it comes to money. Bitcoin is the solution we turn to solve this problem around the globe. So Bitcoin was not the first attempt at solving this. There was a bunch of digital e-caches before. There was a lot of effort to solve this online money, this scarcity problem, this security problem. Bitcoin became the strongest implementation following cryptographic rules, astronomically large math problems, to make sure it's secure, private, and scarce. Bitcoin is decentralized, meaning nobody owns it but the people who have it. There's no government in the middle handing out money. Bitcoin is also valuable today because of its scarce supply. There are only 21 million Bitcoins ever going to be available, not to mention those that have already been lost or those who are not selling. In 2023, there's estimated to be 23 million millionaires in the world. That means not every millionaire will be able to get their hands on one Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a lot like cash. It's handled peer to peer. No one can tell me where I can send it. Nobody can tell me where I can hold it. There's no middleman or authority telling me what to do. And that's what made cash so valuable in the past. Bitcoin is also semi-private. You're not linked by your address. You're not linked by your name. You're not linked by your occupation. You are linked by a cryptographic message across the web for sending and receiving. So Bitcoin's valuable for these reasons. It's the best form of money we've ever had. And money is defined by a store of value, by exchangeable. It's defined by a unit of account, and it's some kind of control around it. So as a store of value, it's a great asset. If you were to take a $10 bill and cut it in half, what would you have? 2 worthless pieces of paper. If you were to cut a piece of gold in half, what would you have? The exact amount of gold. Same with Bitcoin. You can cut that into multiple pieces. And as a unit of account, so Bitcoin can be broken down into 100 million different pieces of one Bitcoin. So theoretically, you can own 1/100th millionth, I think I said that right, of a Bitcoin. But you're probably also thinking, I mean, it is pretty high, and there's probably something that's better. There's a new Bitcoin that's coming out. There's only going to be one global currency. Bitcoin was not made for the purpose of making money. It was meant to change the world. Unlike a lot of the other cryptocurrency projects we see today. Bitcoin is now the 8th biggest market cap in the world. Bigger than Visa, MasterCard. More people own Bitcoin than they do Visa stock, MasterCard stock, Chase Bank stock. Google's next, silver's next, and ultimately it could take over gold as the biggest owned asset in the world. Bitcoin gives people back their freedom, their privacy, and makes everything a level playing field across the world for people who use it as a form of money or a store of value. If you look at the Bitcoin stock to flow ratio, Bitcoin is designed to go up in value forever. The supply is finite and the demand gets more and more. It's probably best you pick up some now before your currency in your country collapses. If you want to learn how to get started in Bitcoin, I have a bunch of videos on the best place to buy it for you, the best place to store it for you, and a link below to my website, bitcoinstartingpoint.com. It's pretty much a guide for you to go step by step in getting some and holding some Bitcoin for you in the future. So thanks again.